Over 7,000 years ago, God gave us a libation. And now this divine beverage is brewed in every nation, on every continent, except one, from far away to near. Humanity can all agree we love this thing called beer! There's Budweiser from St. Louis,
Leaning out OPA.
Coors in Colorado,
We even left the USA. Labatt up in Canada, the land of ice and snow. You don't even need a cooler when it's 40 below.
Dos Equis down in Mexico, or Corona with a lime. It's such a shame, so many beers, so very little time. From Brazil to Argentina,
Up Peru or Ecuador. Todos hechos sus cervezas. They grant some more.
fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday,
So this one is for you.
one by one we set them up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink them all.
What about the Middle East?
Well, that's where it all began. They say the first beer was brewed in modern day Iran, or Lebanon, or Jordan. Well, hey, they make beer too.
Don't forget Gold Star in Israel. Who knew the Jews could brew?
Oy vey.
Tooheys in Australia.
Or maybe Carlton Draft. Try to keep up with the Aussies
And you'll end up on your wall.
Fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday,
So this one is for you.
one by one we set them up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink them all.
There's beer from Scandinavia.
Belgium, France, and Spain.
So raise your glass bottoms up and fill them up again.
That's it.
England,
Guinness.
Ireland.
Tenants from the Scots.
Fine Stefan Siemens. Spice beer.
Reinheitsgebot. Czech Republic, Poland, Russia.
China to the east. They all make delicious beers with barley, hops, and yeast.
So have yourself a big name brew.
Or better, brew your own.
But enjoy that beer, cause one thing's clear.
You ain't drunk at all. Fill my glass up to the rim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set them up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer. We're gonna drink them all.
Drink!
Cheers!
Cheers! Drink! So original. Cheers!
Slanja!
Slancha! Not Ireland! Slancha from Ireland!
That's right. May the devil know you're not dead. Oh, why I screwed that one up.
But it's hard for a German to be an Irish guy.
That's right. So, we'll just pay homage to Germany and say, Prost!
Roast! And may you be in hell half an hour before the devil knows you're there.
Yes, in Ireland they would appreciate that.
Yeah, okay.
L'chaim!
L'chaim! Yes, for our Jewish friends. What else we got?
Come by!
Goodbye! Off to Japan with Asahi and
A little over to the west of Japan, we have Russia, Nostrovia.
way far west of Japan, Nostrovia, which I keep calling Nokia because I'm stupid.
And then, wait, we have some Zulu friends.
Yes, down in Africa, Bajabule!
How do we say that?
Bajabule! What else we got? Salud! Both Spain,
Salud!
Latin America, and Italy.
Chin-chin.
It's almost done.
Okay.
That's it. All right. Hey, we're live, and you can hear hear us over that loud, amazing song. That's a really long intro. No podcast has an intro that long.
No, it's got a 4-minute intro.
4.5 minutes. That's okay. It's time to straighten things out and whatever. Well, anyways, welcome to another episode of Northwest Brewmeisters. I'm Jamey.
I'm Steve.
And we are just two guys from the Pacific Northwest that like beer.
And think you should too.
Anyways, so here we go.
Like, kind of speechless there for a
yeah,
minute.
it doesn't happen to me very often.
So, first order of business, ignore the title of this broadcast.
Yes, ignore the title. I mean, we are brewing beer. It is right for the Tim brew session, but everything else is wrong. Because being the most professional broadcast this side of the Columbia River, and not having a producer or any staff, and talking about other things, we do things like forget to change the title before we fire up. So, there you go. It's not a pale ale. It's not a bitter. It's actually my breakfast ale, and Steve is continuing his path to try and really nail his IPA. Now, I gotta tell you, the last IPA was great. I loved it. Like, he came out and he's like, and his reaction was like, oh, what's in it? And I took a sip. I was like, oh my gosh. Encase this and write this one in stone. It was a good beer. Good beer.
So it did. We did. It became an official recipe instead of one to keep tweaking, and now it is officially known as elusive IPA because the right combination of ingredients has been elusive. It wasn't quite what I was looking for in the end, but it was like an accidental success. So we're calling it good. So elusive IPA is established, and I'm still working IPAs because I want to keep experimenting with IPAs, and that's what I'm doing today. Another IPA with I'm using the elusive recipe as kind of a baseline now, and then I'm added some extra hops to it. Try to give a little bit more a hop character, as they say. And yeah, one other thing I'm gonna do different this time is when it starts carbonating, I'm gonna let it go for 2 weeks before we tap the keg. Wait, it's green.
Yeah, so we were talking yesterday down at one of the local tap rooms that we go to. The bartender, he is the brewer. He's the main brewer, and he had made an IPA, and I forget what it was, but made this IPA, and I was like, I'll try that, because it's just like a philosophy almost, a policy, a dogma. It's a dogma of mine. But when I go into a local brew tavern, wherever, it's like, I want what you brew.
Right.
It's like, I don't want Elysian, I don't want Aslan, I don't want any of these other,
what do you
like,
make?
large size, still craft breweries, though, right? So not Budweiser, Coors, any of the big ones. But still, I don't want one of those big ones. I want what
Nano
you
brewery.
Nano?
Nano brewery.
Anybody know? Does anybody know where Pico falls? In
Under
things?
Nano.
Is it under Nano?
It's between
Nano and Pico?
Nina. It's between Pico or Pico, depending on how you want to say it. Pico is between Nano and Micro.
Pico, IoT.
So you got Micro, Pico, Nano.
What's the next one after Nano?
Regular. Regular. And then Mega Brewery.
So we just go from regular to mega?
Or macro, maybe.
Yeah,
macro.
this is macro.
Macro.
Yeah. In any case, so I've totally forgotten what I was saying. Well, so Jason, the guy, he's like, well, it's kind of green. And I tasted it, and it was. I mean, it really, the hop character bit the back of your mouth. Like, back, yeah. I have to go get my oranges. So we don't have a producer, but we do have a wife that runs to the store and gets oranges. I'll be right back. Thanks, kiddo.
You might even get back before the camera catches up with our monitoring.
I think I will.
Look, you just stood up. You just stood up now, see?
And now I'm sitting down. Yeah, lag. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's why it's so hard to do, like, online music collaborations.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, well, my daughter, she was getting upset when she was in middle school because they were, COVID was all in full bloom, and so, they were doing stuff through their, their Chromebooks and stuff, and she was a percussionist, and she still is a percussionist. Now, she's in high school now, but she started her percussion path when she was in middle school, and she was getting frustrated because the band teacher was having them do stuff online and docking them on, points because oh, you're off timing. No, you idiot. It's the freaking lag in the system. It's like, this dude did not get that, man.
Well, and the problem is so we, because we don't have a producer, working on Wendy, but we don't have a producer, right? It's just me and Steve just doing this here. Eventually we'll get some nicer things going. But for now, it's just me and Steve doing the best we can. And so we monitor comments on the iPad because we're both old. And we can't see all the way across the room because we don't have a fancy camera. We have a laptop all the way across the room. And the text is very tiny. Point being, though, lost my train of thought again.
User production.
Lag, too. Oh, so that's what, lag. So here's the difference. Is that the lag on that monitor there is different than the lag on this iPad.
Right.
And if you were to fire up your phone,
it'd be different there too.
So you got three things in the same room, probably coming from the same server, I imagine. Oh. And it's different lag. So how in the world are you gonna get a band to play like that?
Right. Well, it wasn't even like the whole band. It was like, all right, here's your test, and then she'd have to play 16th notes and whatever, because she was percussion, And he would say, "Oh, you're messing up your time," and she's like, "No, I'm not. I have a metronome." And this guy didn't get it that there was a lag between the systems there. Between her camera on her little Chromebook with the school issue.
Right.
Mind you, it's probably the most inexpensive piece of hardware they could find.
Yeah, well.
So the hardware on that Chromebook is not going to be very good in itself, unless you're dealing with a laggy system. It was on COVID, so everybody was home on the internet. So everything was working against people who were trying to do streaming or video stuff, and this idiot teacher didn't get that, and was giving kids failing grades or docking them points because he was saying their counts were wrong, they were off time minutes. It's like, no, they weren't.
That's the problem. I mean, fighting the limits of technology and someone not getting it is like, okay, that's frustrating. But when they start to impact someone else's life based on their inability to realize, it's like, look, you cannot do that.
Right.
You can't put your daughter on the snare drum at your house and me on the bass over at my house
and
then try to stream it out. It's not going to work.
Yeah.
It's just because if she's trying to monitor off me. I have seen it done successfully, but the way it was done is that you had two streamers go live, and this was back when I used to do a lot of music streaming. Mm-hmm. You'd have two streamers go live, and the one streamer would be the rhythm section.
Oh.
Right, so they'd play rhythm guitar, and that's all they would play. Right? And they would put earbuds in, and they'd shut all their stuff off, and they would just play. Right? And then the other streamer played everything else.
Okay.
Right? And they heard. So this person they were the clock, they were the metronome, they were the beginning, and they were the end of the song. They controlled all of that. And the other person just added on. And then when it was piped out to the viewers, it was piped out from
the guy playing on top, yeah.
Right.
That way you didn't get the lag.
Yep.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
And so it was kind of a one-way trip from the rhythm guitarist, let's call it the rhythm guitarist, and I've seen it done on piano too. But that person, the rhythm section provider, into the vocalist, soloist, and then out to the viewers. Right. And it worked that way. But it wasn't a true collaboration. It was, it was
a cascading collaboration.
But it is kind of cascade. It's kind of like a band where the drummer just plays and you just adapt to the drummer because the drummer doesn't change no matter what. He can't hear you. All the amps are in front of him. He's not paying attention. And so you're not really grooving back and forth. You're just playing to the drummer. Kind of like playing to a click, like program drums or stuff like that. It's
exactly what I was thinking. Like, it sounds like a program drum.
Yeah, it's like the thing that you're playing to is not going to react to you. You only react to it. So it's kind of a one-way deal. But you can make it sound good. You can make it sound perfectly acceptable, that's for sure. Trying to get full here. We're hitting 145 or so.
Oh, okay.
So
I'm committed.
Committed?
Committed.
Yes.
Double IPA. Evil looking Santa. Look at that thing. Hell.
Yep, that definitely. If that Santa Claus came down my chimney, I would shoot him. That is a terrifying Santa. So we should like officially go through what we're making.
Yeah, I guess that wouldn't.
All right. So, although like just today, I logged into our past videos to remember what I made last brew day. But we don't have to do that now. I'll just have to remember. Label this one as soon as I get it home. All right. So I'm making my breakfast ale. Last time I forgot to put the oranges in it. It still tasted good, but I like it better with the oranges. We're gonna put the oranges in it this time. Using Y yeast 1272. I don't know the name of it. Oh wait, I do. It's American Ale 2. That is the name of this yeast. And again, there was probably a reason I chose this yeast, but I've forgotten. Now it's just the recipe.
Right.
You know, 4 ounces of honey malt, 4 ounces of caramel 20, 2 ounces special roast, 2 ounces of victory, 6 pounds of dry malt extract, Brice Golden Light, 1 ounce of Centennial hops for bittering at the 60-minute, 1 ounce of Citra at 10 minutes, and the peels from 3 oranges, also at the 10 minutes. Standard boil of 60 minutes, standard steep of 30 minutes once it hits temp, which is now, and usually finishes up, you know, let's see, had some varying ABVs. Last time was with the orange peels. Original gravity was 1.039. Final gravity is 1.017. So that's a drop of what, 22? It's not a super high ABV beer. Not intended to be. It's kind of supposed to be almost like a session ale. And giving thought to what class I would put this thing.
Did you start your timer?
I'm about to. I would put this in the pale ale category. That's what I would call this beer. You know, if I was to give it a broad category, where does it sit? It's not an IPA. No, for sure.
Nope, nope, nope.
All right. Over to you, Steve.
All right, as I mentioned before, just making a note here. I am working another IPA from the ground up. Well, kind of. I'm using my elusive IPA recipe as a baseline, but the changes I made this time around was I went from using YLab's 1056 American Ale yeast. I'm now using YLab's 1332 Northwest yeast. Why? Just because it's another IPA yeast, and I want to give it a shot and see how different beer is going to come out. This is kind of experimental. My hop bill is a little different. I'm still using the Magnum hops at my 60-minute for my bittering hops, but instead of just using a few ounces of Cascade at the end, I'm actually incorporating. I'm going to alternate between Cascade and Centennial, and then I am going to dry hop this time around with Citra as opposed to just a regular Cascade hop I did last time. Hop should add a little bit of a maybe like kind of a flavor to it. I don't want it to taste like a citrus fruit, but
Like a
I
juicy
do want
IPA.
yeah. It's not meant to be a juicy IPA, but I do want just a little bit of character at the end of it when you take a drink. Okay. See you later. Oh, he's fine. Daughter's leaving. So yeah, that's what I'm doing different. A couple more ounces of hops, and then a different kind of dry hop. The process will be the same. Oh wait a minute, I did do something different up here too. So my steeping grains are a pound of Crystal 20, and then last time I used a half pound of biscuit. This time around I'm using the same 1 pound of Crystal 20, but I'm using a half pound of Carabinic 20. They're kind of the same, but I forget what Ben told me what it does. What the Carabinic does. It's similar to what the biscuit does, but enough of a difference that it's different, you know. But I can't remember what it is. It's going to add a bit of mouthfeel to it. I doubt it's going to add any color or anything. It should be kind of light, like a light golden color in the end. My malts are the same. I'm still using 6.6 pounds of Pilsen Light liquid malt extract, and then a pound of Pilsen dry malt extract. The ABV on the last batch on the elusive IPA came out to 6.3%, which is where it was supposed to be. So I hit it on the mark on that one. This should be the same. It shouldn't be any it shouldn't be, should be in that same ballpark. Maybe a few decimal places or a few decimal points up or down, but it should be over 6. and it's I don't have a name for it yet, but if this comes out the way I've been wanting it to come out, and I stamped it approved, we're gonna call it Finally IPA. Thanks to Jamey, he's the one that suggested that.
Yeah, this one's been a little bit of a journey, man.
Yeah, it has been, but that's fine. That's part of the learning process. It's been fun. Yeah, the first couple incarnations was just like, whoa, this is not what I was going for. The very first one was so bitter too. It just did not taste very good. I mean, we drank it, but we had to kind of, all right, here we go.
Yeah.
Had to get through it.
Drinking this because we drink what we make. Kind of hunters. We eat what we kill. We drink what we make. But yeah, I agree on the first one. Now, I thought the second one wasn't horrible.
I was just about to say that. He liked the second one better.
But I thought the second one wasn't horrible. The Elusive IPA, which is the one from last time, that was good. Good. So there's Resurrection Ale and there's Elusive IPA. They're both right there. Those, my book, those are your two beers that you have nailed. Pay for them beers. Those are pay for them beers.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. His beers that are the same for me are his Smoky Porter. I can't remember what the other one was. He made something else that I was like, this is good. I don't remember what it was.
I've forgotten as well. But I know
it was one of your stouts or something. You made something. Smoky Porter, I know he nailed it because we were drinking it, hanging out one day, and I'm like, is this homebrew or is this from a bottle? He's like, oh, it's homebrew, and it tasted just like if he had poured it out of a glass or out of a bottle to me. That's when I knew he nailed it because I couldn't tell the difference.
Yeah, that one came out right. So that's become a permanent recipe. The Scotch ales.
Your breakfast ales are good too. I mean, I like your breakfast ales. I like your Scotch ales. Yeah, you never made a bad beer. You know what I mean? So, but like the stand-up beers, yeah.
There's peanut butter porter that's.
Well, yeah, but you know what? You tell them about your workaround for that one.
Okay. So I don't know if I've told this. It doesn't matter if I have before or not. So made peanut butter porter. No, peanut butter stout. So it's a peanut butter, milk, chocolate, milk stout. So it's a Russian milk stout, which is, and then it's got chocolate and peanut butter. It's got those flavoring notes. So I've made it before, and it tasted really good. My wife and I were out to dinner. We ordered this peanut butter chocolate milk stout. I think peanut butter Russian milk. I forget. There's a lot of adjectives in the name of this beer.
Right.
So in any case, we ordered it, and my wife's like, "Wow, can you make this?" And I was like, "Of course I can make this.
Duh.
Make anything." Might take a couple tries. So it went home, and we made it, and it was pretty good. And we bought this peanut butter flavoring. Now you can use peanut butter, but it takes a lot of work. Because the peanut oil will destroy your head retention. It impacts the beer. So your beer will always look flat, even if it's carbonated. And I think it does carbonate. But getting that foamy classic head on the top of the beer that everyone's used to that kind of identifies the beer. Yeah, you don't get that. As in at all. Because
Head retention.
Yeah, head retention.
It's gone. There is no head retention.
Yes, there's no head retention because the oil from the peanuts destroys that. So what you have to do is, number one, you have to buy peanut butter that is natural. So like Adam's peanut butter, the stuff that's just peanut butter.
Right.
And when you open it, you've got to stir it and mix the oil back into the peanut butter. You buy that kind of peanut butter, you put it in a muslin bag or something and drain it. It can take like 2 weeks for enough of that oil to get out for it not to be a problem. And then you can use the peanut butter. Or you can buy peanut butter flavoring, which is the route that I went.
Extract.
Yeah, so Ben had one brand of the flavoring, and he's like, now be careful with this. I'll make sure you go slow. So I did. Well, then he got a different brand for whatever reason. And that's fine. Products change. Suppliers go away, vendors come and go, these things happen. So I used this one. Well, I wasn't as careful. I just kind of was like, oh, I used about the same amount as the last one. Oh my gosh. It was like beer flavored peanut butter Pepsi. It was
thick.
horrible,
Think-
so sweet, just
It's like
gross
maple
sweet.
syrup, but not
Like
maple
not like
syrup.
a sweet finish, but like sweet sugary. It's just like major mistake. So my wife and I were like, well shoot, because it's like a $70 beer.
Yeah.
It's like,
We're not dumping this.
I don't want to train pour this, not yet. So my wife was open to the idea of trying to mix it. So she had some Black Butte Porter. Who makes that? Deschutes, right?
Deschutes, yeah.
So she had
Out of Oregon.
some Black Butte Porter from Deschutes. And so she got a little tiny measuring shot glass thing. And so we just started measuring and pouring. It's like, all right, let's go 1 for 1. 1 ounce of this peanut butter abomination, 1 ounce of Black Butte Porter in the glass. Taste this. Oh, and vomit. Okay. 1 ounce of the peanut butter, 2 ounces of the Black Butte Porter. Taste this. No, you're not vomiting. You don't look good. Give me that. 1 ounce, 3 ounces of the Black Butte Porter. Getting closer. We landed on 4 ounces because we went up to 5. She's like, okay, now the peanut butter and stuff is kind of going away. It's disappearing. Let's roll it back. So basically 4 to 1. So figured out that in order to save that beer, I would have to make 20 gallons of Russian Imperial Stout, which that's a lot of Russian Imperial Stout, which I like stout, but it's summertime. So anyways, I've got at least 4.5 gallons of overly sweet peanut butter stout, and we've been working our way through it. But you know, Wendy finally, she's like, I'm kind of dark beard out. Can we do some different kinds? Yeah, it's like, yeah.
It's not gonna go bad. You know?
Yeah, so it's just sitting there. Although I am out of kegs now because hunting season's coming. I've got all my hunting season beers lined up. I only have one. I don't have any kegs left. I need another keg. I borrow a keg.
Last year.
I know. Thank you. So we'll get through it, and we won't make mistakes again. How's your beer?
How's yours?
Empty.
Oh, now you're the one slamming them down. Usually it's the other way around.
It's usually because I'm running my mouth so much.
Right. Well, you kind of still are. I don't mean that in rude ways. You're still talking a lot like you normally talk during our broadcast, you know?
Yeah, I just got ahead of you a little bit while you were explaining your beer and stuff.
That's okay.
Which, you know what? I'm not lying.
I'm almost ready.
I'm really frustrated about the fact that I've got to wait 6 weeks to drink this beer. It is going to be good.
I'm assuming it's going to be good.
No, I have every expectation it's going to be good because your last one, the Elusive, is great. That's a very good beer. And we'll see, you know, it'll be interesting. The only problem is it's going to be hard for you to nail what change was really the secret. So if it's not good, you're doomed to a little bit more experimentation because you change several things.
I changed a few things, yeah.
You know, if you had only changed the yeast or only like increased the hops, then you'd be like, okay, so that didn't do it or whatever. But I don't think any of your changes were
It'll be fine.
overly drastic.
Yeah, no, I got you. I agree. I think it'll be fine.
I'm looking forward to it. Like 6 weeks. I want to drink it tomorrow. I actually want to drink it at the end of brew day.
Well, I guess we'll be drinking it in first part of August.
Alright, so we'll do 2 weeks.
Well, it's 2, 2, and 2.
You do 2, 2, and 2. We'll do 2 full 2 weeks because we never do a full 2 weeks.
Well,
We always
honestly,
cheat.
it won't be a full 2 weeks to the day. It'll probably be more like 12 days carbonation. Because it'll come over on Friday after work.
Right.
And it'll be, what's going to happen is we get kegged up on a Sunday for carbonation. It'll start carbonating that afternoon. Instead of drinking it on 2 weeks Sunday to the day, we'll drink it Friday before the 2 weeks.
Right.
So it'll be like 12 days of carbonation. Right. Which means it should definitely be ready.
Yeah, you would think so.
I mean, it'll be ready by that first Friday, but we're going to have to let it go. So
That's a good idea. Well, you know,
we're going to let it go and let it fully condition before we tap it.
I don't think I ever finished the story about the beer down at the tap.
No, because your wife pulled up with your oranges.
Yeah. But it was really green and it really bit the back of your throat. The hop character and everything was like actually spicy. It was not just like hoppy. It was like almost spicy, like Mexican spicy food, like spicy. It wasn't pleasant. It's like no, I don't like this. But I ordered the same beer. 2 weeks later, I went back, ordered the same beer, and it had conditioned and aged and stuff, and it was really good. So yeah, the whole time in the keg thing impacts them.
Yeah.
But it's so hard to wait. So hard to wait. How much time do I have left? Hey, I've got 17 minutes left. Are you gonna start? How long are you gonna wait?
I'm going to your speaker again.
Okay.
That gives us roughly a 30-minute window.
Right. How's your beer? Tasty. Mine's empty. Don't ask me why we go 1 for 1, but we do. Even though we tell ourselves, you know, you don't have to wait for me. So, yeah, it's a way of pacing myself.
I think that's what it is. If we do it that way, it'll be safer.
Nobody will get on a runaway tear. Oh, is that the elusive?
Elusive.
Oh my gosh.
I don't have any more of the beer. That's all we have now.
Life is good, ladies and gentlemen. Life is good.
I had to crank the gas back up on it.
Really?
Yeah, somehow I got turned down. I don't know if I did that or got bumped or something. This Friday, my friend T came over.
Uh-huh.
And, you know, I poured a beer, and I'm like, why is this not... Okay. Where are the bubbles? Yeah, the gas was just so low that the carbonation's kind of carbonated itself out.
Just went away, huh?
Yeah, I was like very little in there. I'm like, because it didn't even give a head like this. Here we have a little bit of a head, you know.
Right.
And that was the first thing I noticed was there was no head on there, and so I started, you know, looking at it. Where did all the bubbles go? Over this. Over this.
Bubblies, bubblies, bubblies. So, what we were just
That
drinking
came out really clear, too.
was by Founders, yeah, actually. What we were just drinking was by Founders, All Day IPA. It's a session IPA, which there's some discussion on whether that really allows it to be an IPA or not, because...
Well, the purists, or some people will say that's not an IPA, it's just a pale ale. Yeah.
Right, because it's not strong enough, because I guess... You know, the thing about it, whenever you research these styles, a lot of words like typically, traditionally...
Quintessential.
No, quintessential is actually, quintessential does not come up in these beer articles.
Oh.
It's always these vague terms that allow wiggle room.
Okay.
Typically, lots of people feel... Some are of the opinion there's nothing like IPAs must be 6% or stronger. Nothing that concrete. It's like, typically an IPA is a slightly stronger beer. But define this, please. Well, typically slightly stronger. Isn't that a definition? No. No, it is not.
Kind of vague.
that is just like a... So anything's an IPA. Anything's an IPA. Anyhow, the joke. Anyway, so I looked it up because I did not think the stronger thing was a part of it. I thought it was the hop character, and that was really the main thing that made an IPA. Because that is how it got its definition. Because India Pale Ale, shipping it to India, and they had to put the extra hops in it to preserve it for the trip. But there's a difference between original definitions of beers,
Right.
and then what we say modern. Like, for example, stout. Right now, if I were to hand you a stout this color, you would not call it a stout.
No. What is this?
That's not a stout, it's a stout.
Right.
But if I were to hand you a stout in 1702, you probably wouldn't question it, because a stout merely meant a strong beer. That's what it meant, a strong beer.
This is stout.
It's a stout. This is a stout beer, 6% or above. I don't know if they
Most-
measure.
Most non-beer people, you say stout, they instantly think Guinness.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because Guinness is a stout, yes.
It is a
Not
stout.
the only stout.
It's not the only stout, and you know what? I don't dislike Guinness per se, but I gotta say it is not my favorite stout.
Yeah, same here. If I have a choice between a Guinness and something else, I'll probably take the something else. Depending what it is. Now, if it was some fizzy yellow beer, I'd probably take the Guinness over the fizzy yellow
Yes, I mean,
beer. You
sure.
know, but yeah, but if I had, like, if somebody had here, you want a Guinness, you want an IPA, I'd be like, I'll take the IPA, thank you.
Right.
Yeah, I'm just not a fan of the Guinness. I have no kidding. I've had legitimately had Guinness in Ireland, and it does taste better over there. Not because it's in Ireland is because the import or their export, which is our import of Guinness, it's different. It's not quite the same, and so
They might have to do something.
true Irish Guinness and off the tap, from the tap, it does taste better, I think. But still, overall, I'm just not that big a fan of Guinness,
Well, you know that soy saucy tang. You know,
Yeah.
a lot of people say, like Wendy says, it tastes like soy
Same
sauce.
here. I say the same thing. It has
Yeah.
a weird tang to it. That might be from the nitrogen, because it's
Right.
carbonated with nitrogen.
But the thing is, that's on purpose. That is one of the defining characteristics
Right.
of Guinness. It's like, so if you like that, then great. If you
Not
don't
my
like
thing.
that, it doesn't matter if it's called Guinness or if it's called Bob's Basement Stout.
Yeah.
If he aims to get that tang in there and you don't like that tang, you're not
You're not
going to
gonna
like
like it,
Bob's
yeah.
Basement Stout either.
No matter what the label is,
Yeah, it does not matter.
Now there was an interesting Guinness I had. I think it was called Guinness 250, and where I first saw it was in the state of Maryland.
Yeah.
It was an import, but it looked like this if you poured it into a glass. So it wasn't really. I don't know if it was considered a stout or a light stout, but it looked golden. It wasn't dark like typical Guinness, and it did not have the soy sauce taste that it has. It tasted good. Whatever Guinness 250 was, it was good.
There's something. I think there's a blonde Guinness or something there.
Maybe that's what it was. Maybe it was a Guinness Blonde. I don't know. It was lighter in color. It definitely had the Guinness label. And I think I'm conflating two things because the Guinness 250, I think I had that on tap at Flyers.
Yeah.
We used to do a brewers night on like the third Thursday of every month.
Uh-huh.
And one of the featured breweries in this case was Guinness, which I thought was funny because usually the brewers nights were microbrews, small, little
Pico brews, nano brews.
nano brews. And anyway, Guinness is a big brewery. But yeah, I remember. I think that's where I had the Guinness 250. Actually, was at that brewers night, it was dark like Guinness, but it had a lighter mouthfeel and didn't have that taste. And then the Guinness Blonde is the one that looks kind of like this. That's right. That's the one I had in Maryland. I saw it in a 6-pack and bought it at the Navy Exchange when I was. It was good. The Guinness Blonde was good too. So.
I think
If it's called blonde, but it was a light Guinness. It was a lighter colored Guinness.
my blonde Bach ale is one which I haven't made in a while. Because it's an ale, but it's kind of made Bach style.
Box style, yeah.
Uses Hallertau hops, and that's all.
German hops. Yeah, well, Bock beers are German.
Yeah.
Bock beers are like German beers that didn't want to conform to the Reinheitsgebot.
Right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. So my blonde Bach ale, it uses Y yeast 1098, which again, I don't know why I chose that. I mean, there was a reason I chose it
Maybe
when
it
I
was
chose
one of Ben's
it.
recommendations. It might have been.
Might have been. When I make the recipes, I research the heck out of them. I overthink my beers. But
Yes.
sit there and drink your beer.
Oh, I'm not.
But no lie, once it's done, and I'm like, okay, that was good. I don't know why it works anymore. I could go back and figure out why, but it's got 8 ounces of Crystal 10, 8 ounces of Munich, 8 ounces of flaked corn,
There's a lot in that beer.
ounce of Hallertau, and an ounce of Hallertau again at 5. 1 and 6.
No naked oats.
No naked oats, man. But I built this thing on purpose. I use
We
Pilsen.
like naked.
I just like naked.
We don't have any viewers today, or if we do, they're being very quiet.
Well, we're down to 1. We had 3
I
at
think
one
that's
point.
you.
Oh,
I
that's
think the
me.
one viewer is you.
Hi, me.
Hello, me. Meet the real me. I'm sure somebody will get the reference.
Somebody. I got it. So anyways, that's the blonde Bach ale.
By the way, how much time do you have?
7 minutes and 50
all right.
seconds.
Oh, wait, a little time.
So,
Hello,
got a little bit
thanks.
of time here. When timer ends. You know what I should do?
What should you do?
Online. Right, everybody watch me. Remember to send my father a Father's Day text. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there.
Right. I called my dad earlier today. Had a nice sprechen session with him.
You are a better son than I. You can call my daddy.
He's not over. That's not over either.
I also don't know where my dad is right now. As in, I don't know if he is back in Montana or if he is out on the East Coast visiting his brother.
Oh,
My
okay.
cousin had a big shindig. I think their 30th anniversary or something.
Oh,
He's been
okay.
married for 30 years plus. Anyways,
Wow.
big shindig got put together, surprise party, and all the family that could, couldn't, but all the family that could went back there and part of that. And so my mom and dad went back. So there we go. Let's see. Happy Father's Day. Writing for
Live
Tim.
on our broadcast.
Right?
Jamey texts his dad, Happy
Now.
Father's Day.
Yes. There we go. Everyone knows I love my dad. So the ride for the Tim thing, I haven't told that story in a while. I don't know, that just became a thing for the video broadcast.
Yeah, we were
Like
drinking beer one night, just being silly, talking about a group of retired band directors,
Yes, because it was a joke. It was like I was making jokes with the old medieval movies and stuff.
Right.
When the knight had come up and it's like, what ho? Who do you ride for? I ride like Willow. I ride for the Nelwyn or whoever he
Yeah.
was.
Right.
And at the end he rides for the Nelwyn. Type deal. Anyhow, so yeah, the amount of times that my dad's retired band teachers saved one of his children in various. We're not talking like leaped into a river of death to pull us from, but just like, hey, my kid ran out of gas because you run him 5 gallons of gas. He's 30
Right.
miles out of town. Things like that. And it just became a joke, What ho! I ride for the Tim.
I
My
ride
dad's
for the
name is
Tim. Oh, you may enter then.
Yes, come. So anyways, and that all came out. And the first time that my dad, me, and Steve hung out together, it was loads of fun and lots of beer.
Wow, I was really drunk that night.
It was a good thing you
really
only
drunk.
lived 100 yards away from my house.
I know. Yeah, that was definitely a good thing. I missed that close. That was so easy just to walk over to the house and drink.
Yes, it was a good time.
He used to call me, "Hey, come back to reality. Come drink beer and eat spaghetti."
Somebody might have been a wow boy.
I did a little wow stint there in the early 2000s.
So anyways, that's
But I
where
was,
Ride.
But I was single, didn't have any children,
Yeah,
So
but that's where Ride for the Tim comes from. And so now, my dad will be like, "Hey, Jal, what you doing?" And I'm drinking beer with Steve. I'm like,
we're riding for the Tim.
We ride for the Tim, and he knows exactly what's going on.
There was one time, your dad and I texted something. I forget what it was, and I was telling him what we were about to do, or what we were doing. He's like, I forget what the conversation was. I said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna be hanging out here soon or something like that." He's like, "Oh sweet, ride for the Tim." And he wrote back, "Oh wait, I am the Tim." it just really fit with the joke, He's like, "Wait, I am the Tim."
That's my dad. Sometimes we gallop, sometimes we trot. Like today, we're walking. Just kind of moseying down the road.
Well, sure.
We try not to gallop too much anymore or run.
Yeah.
'Cause the next morning hurts.
Yeah, too old to nurse hangovers anymore.
Well, and the
It's just
thing
not
is,
fun.
well, that's the thing is that, beyond all that, beyond all the, it's like, it's just not that fun.
No, I mean, yeah, we've achieved this a few times where we just kind of reach a level of inebriation. Not where it's sloppy and sip, but we're just kind of like, running out of things to talk about.
Ran out of topics.
The beer all tastes the same. You don't really taste anything, because you're just too drunk, and it's like, maybe we should call it a night,
Yeah, and so we typically stop before that now.
Yeah.
Kind of old and responsible. What's wrong with us?
That's smart.
Still play metal though.
Yeah.
I mean, there was a bunch of stupid, irresponsible people at your last show. I don't know. Maybe they were all pictures of responsibility. They're just cutting loose right there in that brief moment.
Not like there was any alcohol or anything at the show,
That doesn't mean that they're smart and responsible.
Nobody got hurt, nobody did anything.
It's true.
Wrong.
Nobody got hurt. No,
I wouldn't say anybody was stupid or irresponsible there. No, it was.
I didn't mean that as in their actions immediately in that moment. I was just making a general slam on young people.
Okay.
It was supposed
I was
to.
like, I'd say it
That
was
was supposed to be less pointed and a little more generic and lighthearted than Okay.
Ah, I see.
That's all right. But yeah, no, that was a good show. Yeah, that was kind of fun watching those kids. It's like, oh no, the mosh pit's getting awfully close.
Yeah.
I wish this venue was bigger so they could have like ropes or something.
Oh yeah.
Get away from me, you young little demons! I'm too old to mosh.
You whippersnappers. Like someone like Jamie and I, if the mosh pit got close to us, all we'd have to do is just things bounce right off us, you know.
It's like, here, let me help you up.
I mean, no offense to these kids, you know, but it's just like, probably outweigh you by a good 30, 40, 50 pounds or more, you know.
Most of them, yeah.
Most of those kids, yeah.
Slender children there.
So,
You know, I was chuckling to myself at the one point, you know, and a lot of metalheads will point things out like this. But you're listening to these kids, and they're like, oh yeah, F this, F that, and they're all tough and stuff, and then this kid comes up to me who had just been a rah, 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 and he's like,
yeah, I know.
literally, he went from rah, 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 he's bouncing off people, he's like, rah, and he's
Pardon me, sir.
and then he walks across because he needed to go, and I was standing there, he's like, excuse me, sir. I'm like,
You got sirred.
I'm cool with the sir, that doesn't bother me. It's like, I've come to acceptance of my age. But just that change from, excuse me.
I know, that's funny.
It's like, okay, man. It's like,
Yeah, and, you know, that's kind of the reason I think, you know, those kids with that show are overall they're good kids. These are high school kids. It was, you know,
it was definitely a high school.
overall they're good kids. Yeah, they're letting their hair down, being tough and stuff. But then when it came to not confronting, but you know, encountering an adult, they're just kind of like, oh, they're very respectful.
Yep.
Another thing that impressed me with those kids. This show that I played and the show I went and watched the last time was more like a punk show.
Uh-huh.
So it was definitely more of the anarchy thing, you know, because
sure.
it was punk. But there were other small children there, and they were doing a little circle mosh thing there in the little 5'5" area so they could do it. But
it's like the three moshers.
Mom and then the little kids were in the middle, and they were like letting them in there, and there was some other adults in there too to help kind of, you know, keep the kids bay. But they were doing the circle thing around them. But they were being very conscientious of the children there, the little kids that were there.
Well, I've heard stories
and
of that.
I thought that was really respectful. I was like, you know what? Yeah, these kids are being, you know, little errors, whatever, in a sense, but they're being respectful and conscientious of the little children and the adults that are around too. And I was really impressed with that.
I've heard stories of that before, like even at big metal shows, like in maybe not necessarily stadiums and stuff, but where there's a mosh pit and someone who should not be there ends up in there, and maybe one of the big moshers walks over and says, "You need to leave."
Right.
Not so much.
That, but they'll definitely pick them up and they go down.
Yeah, it's like, well, it's just kind of this protective. You are really, that dude's 280 pounds.
Yeah.
He hip checks you, he's gonna break your shoulders because that's where he's gonna hit you.
But I know, in my personal experiences, for anybody old enough to know the band Morbid Angel and Creator and Paradise Lost, I went to one of their shows in 1994. I'm certainly not a small guy, but I'm not a big guy. You know, I'm in the middle. You know, I'm not quite 6 feet tall. I weigh 200 pounds right now. I don't think I weigh 200 pounds in 94 though.
You didn't weigh 200 pounds in 2012, Steve.
No, I weighed like 175.
Or 2016.
But,
Let's just be honest, that's a recent development.
Oh crap! I didn't want to cold steep, but I guess
looks like you are now.
I guess I'm cold steeping now.
It's hard to undo that one.
Right? Oh well, that's fine. Anyway, I was at this Morbid Angel concert, having a good time. Bands were playing, you know, music was loud. It was a smaller venue, so it was just a different atmosphere than going to like a stadium show or a big event center thing. Anyway, me and all kinds of other people just went down, but people weren't like being rude. They were like, oh, if you went down, they would help you up, you know.
Right.
Because everybody was there just to have a good time, and the pit was just the pit, you know. So yeah, people would help you out. And I thought that was really cool because, you know, metalheads, especially in the earlier days, you know, in the 90s and 80s and all that, there was just a stigma about metalheads, and which was, in some cases, there was some truth to things, but in most of the cases, at least that I saw over the years, it was not true. And metalheads actually did take care of people. They didn't want death and destruction, you know.
Right.
This is what the music was about, you know.
Right, but it's hard, you know, because that's the face that you have. You know,
Right.
hate breed. morbid angel.
Yeah, well,
You know.
it was all for fun. It's all shock, man.
Yep.
Shock and awe, but just a lot of it was be contrarian.
Right, just pure rebellion. You know, when I
Especially
was
like in the 60s and 70s, you know.
when I was like 17, 18, maybe 16, somewhere in there, went over to my friend Justin's house. We hung out quite a bit. And I forget what Justin and I were saying, but it was, you know, it was a lot like that. Just contrarian, shock value type BS. Really what it was.
Right.
And the wife was appropriately shocked. Because what was said was, you know, kind of offensive and shocking. And it was just like, it was an opinion that was put out. Just, not in a very tactful way. And it wasn't it was one of those hot take opinions type deal.
Sure.
You know, I think all babies should have their nose pierced by the 3rd day type stuff. Something stupid, right? Anyway, she turns to her husband and she says, "Honey, isn't that just shocking?" And he's eating his dinner. He's with his mouth full, not even looking up. He's like, "No. When long ago, young men just say things to be shocking and you just don't react to it." And I was just like, crap. So that's the end for me. I'm done. He saw right through me. He's just like, okay, that's as far as we go with that. I have been caught out.
That's right.
Protein addition or something?
Something was floating there that probably came from the stack.
Mm-hmm. I'm trying to stay on target here. I'm the one that's notorious for saying, all right, time to start the boil, and then not starting it for 20 minutes.
Right. Right. This we got me for to remind you, hey man, boil that.
Steve is the actual brewer. I really don't know what my function is. I bring a laptop.
You provide the AV.
Yeah, that's my job.
Foamy.
It is.
Wow. Looks like you're smoking up
Yes.
something there.
A little bit of dust into the air.
Are you making dough?
It will dissolve. It's not going to turn into dumplings like flour does. I think it's true. You know, I saw an experiment done with it. Like, if you have 150 milliliters of water, you can dissolve 150 milliliters of sugar into that water. So it's volume for volume, 1 for 1, you can dissolve it into the water. I find that crazy.
Okay.
Now I want to try it.
Want your fire on?
Well, I want to dissolve this first and then fire it up. You know what? No, go for it.
You don't have to worry about scorching it.
Yeah, go ahead. Here.
Put it on low.
There it is. You know, even a few times we have scorched like the liquid malts, it doesn't really seem to be a real bad thing. I mean, if you had your flame on hot and you poured like a whole thick blob of it and it just burned on the bottom, yeah, that would probably be bad. Go ahead, hit it, man.
You just had the 2 bags going in?
Yeah, that's it. 6 pounds.
Okay.
No liquid malts on this one. Which I really don't know. Actually, I do know why I went with this one. I do know why I did that. I know I went with the dry because I could get to 6 pounds. I wanted 6 pounds. I didn't want more than 6 pounds.
Yeah, because the dries are easier to control sometimes.
Yeah. The liquid malt is 3.3 pounds per container, no matter what. 3.3.
Judas.
I haven't seen Nathan in a few brew days.
No, me neither. I haven't even seen him saying much on, if anything, on the Discord channel either. I haven't seen him post anything.
Yeah.
Because for a while he was doing pretty regular, like in the DIY and the crafts channels, and I haven't seen anything from him for a while.
Well, you mentioned something about computer issues and things. And I get that.
Right.
Oh, we'll see. I'm sure he'll be back.
I just hope he didn't get hurt or something because his job's kind of dangerous, you know.
What does he do? What's his job?
Construction.
Oh, is he a construction worker?
He works construction.
Yeah, that's dangerous, all right.
And I know, you know.
He did hurt himself that
He
one
has hurt
time.
himself. Yeah, I don't know if that was job related or craft related because he does a lot of woodworking too. You know?
Right.
But yeah, I'm pretty sure he said he works construction. So yeah, he didn't get hurt. You know.
Yeah, me too. Hope you don't get hurt, Nathan. Don't get hurt. Getting hurt is
Don't
bad.
get hurt, man. Because maybe the next time I make it to flow, I'll actually make it out there to meet you.
Alright, that is dissolved.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Going for
Not
more.
too bad.
Too bad.
At 40 degrees Celsius.
I realized that, you know, Peter, Jim, a lot of other people from Britain, I don't speak Celsius. 40 degrees means nothing to me. I gotta do math now. It's just like 0,
Oh, no.
that's 32.
Maths. Remember maths? Now, chloroform of math.
So Northwest Brewmeisters will be dissolving after this broadcast because apparently Steve has gone crazy. Just like the other day when he told me he didn't drink beer. I almost jumped out of the truck.
I'm gonna walk home.
Yeah, I'll walk home. I can't associate with people like you.
I like to go, Jamey, sometimes.
It was both ways.
he gives
Both
it back.
ways.
He gives it back.
To be honest, I give it more than I take it, so I gotta take it. It has to be a sport.
But, you know, we're friends, and that's what we do. We give each other shit, but we take care of each other. And I just...
Good job, man. You made it. You made it to the 57-minute mark.
I will congratulate myself.
Oh, it's the only show that like evaluates its foul language rating. It's like,
Oh, we're PG now.
yeah.
We haven't gone PG-13 or rated R in a long time.
Well, we do try to be careful. I mean,
We do. We honestly do, yeah. That's fine.
I have to admit, you know, that was the one thing at the show that I actually didn't like, was from the guys that talked before they said things.
Yeah.
The amount of expletives, and it's, so, you know me, I like me a good expletive. The F word is one of my favorite words.
But it's a little weird hearing it come from like a 17-year-old kid on the stage. It's like,
Right.
you know what, dude, you're not qualified yet.
Yeah, and,
You know?
and gratuitously.
Yeah.
As in, with no point,
Right.
you know?
Look at me, I can cuss right now.
Yeah, it's like, wow,
dude,
you're so
come
cool.
on.
It's like, sure, I swear, but, you know, and Steve will attest to this. When the camera comes off, our language is a little more coarse. But
Sailors,
it's-
or former sailors.
Yeah, it's not excessively coarse.
No, that's
But
not why.
when we swear, it's usually, at least I feel in my case, it's usually, it's like,
We're emphasizing
yeah, to
something.
hit something.
Yeah.
Not to just throw
Swear.
an expletive out there. It's like, and that one was really, it's like, really, dude?
Yeah, I know. I thought the same thing.
Is
you know.
everybody having an effing good time? It's like,
Why can't it just be a good time?
yeah, why can't it be just a good
Yeah,
time?
my
Why
thought
can't
was
it be an
like,
effing good time.
I was like, dude, you're not qualified yet to talk like that. Does your mom know you're here? Oh wait, she is here. She's over
Oh
there.
wait, there's your mom. Do you
So-
know he speaks?
Just to give our non-viewers some quick context, there's a skate shop downtown, like a skateboard shop, you know, and the owner, by the way, if you ever see this, Garrett, thank you. The owner will host these like band nights on, you know, every few weeks or so, and One of the shows I went to, we you know was a punk show because I wanted to see what the venue was like and what kind of stage presence there is and how much room and proximity and all that.
Or lack thereof.
But a lot of it was, you know, a lot of the kids that go there, the high school kids, because some of the bands that were playing were actually kids, local kids in the high school, which is good for them. You know, they're in bands. I did high school garage bands and stuff, so it gives them a place to play, and their friends and fans come and see them from the school. And so there's a lot of teenagers there, but at the same time, there's a lot of parents there. There's little kids there I mentioned before. You know, it's a very all ages mixed crowd kind of thing. So last Friday, this you know, a couple of days ago, a band I'm in was on the bill to play, and we did until the cops shut us down. The real reason we got shut down was noise ordinance related stuff. So supposedly it was too late to be playing that loud, but we were downtown in a non-residential area
On a Friday night.
Inside a private business. So I don't know what's going on there. I think there was some beef with the building manager or
Well, there's a landlord, and that's the problem.
so. But anyway, my band played there Friday night, and same thing. It was, you know, the mixed crowd. You know, little kids, grandparents. There was somebody there. I can swear the guy was like 78 years old, man. He was sitting right in front of me.
Yeah, couldn't
probably,
stand.
probably watching his grandson or something.
Yeah.
You know?
Probably wondering what happened.
What the hell am I doing here? You know? What is that noise? But it's fun because I look at it as a positive thing. Like, you know what? These kids are here, no alcohol, you know, safe area in a sense, you know, where you don't have to worry about there's no drugs, no alcohol, and they're not out doing dumb crap outside on the road, on the streets, you know, whatever, being idiots. And so I think it's a good thing, you know, good for Garrett, the owner of the skate shop, for hosting these things because he's giving these kids something to do. We live in a pretty boring small town, so, you know, I wouldn't blame some of these teenagers if they were out doing stupid crap, you know.
Well, that is
Within limits, of course, but you know what I mean. The point is, this is something for them to do, you know, and they enjoy this. It's music. They get to go have fun.
Well, that's the curse of small towns. I grew up in a small town. And yeah, that's what teenagers did. They drove up way in the mountains, somehow got a hold of a keg,
Right.
and everybody got drunk.
Right.
And sometimes they got in trouble. Sometimes, there's a couple times where the police were just like, Jim, what?
Yeah.
Go block Deep Creek Road. Like, what do you mean? Don't let them out.
Just block.
Just keep them up there. Let them
Right.
wake up. It is July. They're going to be fine. Just keep them up there. Like, legitimately, that happens. So the sheriff is like, oh, all right. So he drives up Deep Creek Road or whatever.
Right.
you want,
Yeah.
Cuts across it. Kids try to come out. He's like, nope.
You guys
You're up here tonight. We all know what you're doing. We could come arrest you, but we're just going to let you sit here.
Spend the night in your car, or you spend the night in jail.
Yeah, you got a choice, but you're not driving back down into town.
Right. Yeah, you know, that's small town life, you know.
Yeah, that is.
And so, the fact that this guy is doing these things and letting bands play, and it's not all, you know, all the bands aren't all teenagers. Obviously, shit, I'm 48 years old, or about to be 48. And one of the other bands that played, those guys are all like my age, you know, or close to my age.
What was that, Skin Alive to Death?
Skin Alive, yeah, they're all like.
Eric is probably late 30s.
Well, yeah, I guess they're not quite in their 40s, but.
Yeah, I'm just guessing.
But they're adults. They're not teenager kids, you know.
They're adults. They've been out of high school.
Two of those bands were definitely the high school kids, because one of them even, there's vocalists even said, hey, this is the last time we're going to be performing, because I think they're all graduating, going on their own.
Graduating and going off to college.
So good for them, you know. The other band, I'm not sure if I think there was a mixture of high school kids and adults, or like people that graduated last year.
With that Dirty Biter band?
Whatever the third band was, I think it was a mixture of some high school kids.
Yeah.
And then,
well, the
their
lead
friends
singer was
who-
definitely not high school.
Their friends who like graduated last year or something like that. You
Yeah.
know, kind of thing. Yeah, because the lead singer had a Domino's Pizza outfit on. I think he was at work.
Yeah.
And then came to work to do his show, you know, from work. But he was probably like a senior last year or the year before, you know, kind of thing. So
Yeah, gotcha.
I don't know how comfortable I'd feel like if I was, especially my age now, like if I wouldn't jam with anybody who was under 18, you know what I mean? Nothing against them personally, but it's like,
You know, there's
this country's too dumb about that stuff, and you know.
I mean, it'd be one thing if there's the kid that gets into the group, right? It's like, hey man, he's my sister's cousin's kid.
Oh, well, that's different.
He's a hot drummer.
Yeah.
I know we're all 50. He's only 18.
But he's related. You know?
Yeah. But you know, I mean, well, I'm just saying. So there's the extenuating
Right.
circumstances. Yeah. Walked up. Hey, you want to jam with me? It's like,
Sorry, dude, but no. You know.
You got nothing in common, man. It's just
Yeah,
like,
it's
no,
like,
you
no,
gotta
it's-
find your own.
how old are you?
instrument.
17? No. You need to find kids your age to jam with. You know.
Yeah, which
You
can be hard, you
Yeah,
know.
I guess, especially in small town
Small town,
area like we have, you know. And plus, you know, there's just such a weird stigma with people, especially white men my age, you know, our age.
Oh yeah.
That
I
you know,
mean,
God forbid I talk to a teenager. You know, people are gonna automatically assume there's something going on. You know, I hate that. It's so stupid. You know.
it is, and part of that is social media. Part of it is just, you know, this hyper awareness of things.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
There's just, or just not even a hyper awareness, just I think an explosion of publicity that makes it appear as though we're gonna switch the clock here,
All right, I'm almost at 10.
which makes it appear as though all these things are everywhere when they're not.
When they're not,
You know, I mean, we've had this discussion before many times. This is like, you know, social media and the mainstream media make it look like we're so incredibly divided as a nation. But if you walk out your front door, go down to the grocery store and talk to people, go into the auto parts store, yada yada, you find that even though you have differences of opinion, no, it's not this.
Yeah, they're not. People aren't each other's throats just because they disagree.
Yeah,
I mean,
it-
there are the small circles of people that are, especially the ones that are very loud ones. You know.
right. But that's the thing is they're very loud, but there's really
Right.
not that
Not very
many
many,
of them.
Yeah.
It's like most people are not that divided. I mean, we disagree. You and I disagree on things.
Oh, sure. Even you know, and even if people are divided, which we are politically across the country. I mean, you know, but most of those people, I think, tend to still be cordial with each other in public. You know,
Yeah. Well, and then
you get the few idiots on both sides that can't accept the fact that someone else has a different opinion. You know.
right. I mean, it's just yeah. And it's just it's not the gap is not as wide.
Right.
And I wasn't just thinking about that. I was thinking that applies to a different thing too.
Oh, did I break your train of thought?
No, I broke my train of thought. I always do this.
You also broke your beer, man. What? Dude, what is it with you?
I'm very thirsty.
Apparently, remember these are stronger, dude. You have to be careful with these.
I have a ride home.
Yeah, you do. I have to get up in the morning.
So do I. I'm good.
Yeah, you're probably up. You have to be up earlier than I do.
Oh man, tomorrow's gonna be crazy.
This is coming out really dark. It's because I cold steeped it. That's why.
You think so?
It's taking forever to get to town, man.
Because the garage door's open. Punch it, afterburner.
Punch it, Chewy. I'm only at 140. I mean, it's close, but not quite there.
Then in the next 3 seconds, it went to 210.
That's how stupid my setup is. It just stability is not there sometimes. Anyway, I don't want to go on a political diatribe. Oh, look. You got
Thank
motion.
Thank you. So Steve used to be the boil over king. But
Oh, no.
the last 2 times, it's been me.
You know what happens? I get a free mopping in my garage when he boils over.
The cleanest garage floor in the Pacific Northwest.
And let's break that sentence down. Mopping the garage. You know, who the hell mops garages? Apparently, besides us.
We do.
You know,
But who spills beer all over their garage?
we do.
How much flame do I have left? Can I go down quite a bit, or
A little bit more, yeah.
I don't want to kill it so that I can bring it back, but at the same time.
I'd keep it right there because it's almost like a candle right now, kind of.
All right,
It's
so
like a really wide candle.
this should get under control here in just a minute. Then.
It smells good. I can smell it coming over here, man. I can smell the aroma off of that. Kind of chocolatey.
So definitely try and get my boil under control before I add hops, because hops can make it even more exciting.
Oh yeah, hops will boil it over.
And then you have beer explosions.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about the hops, but yeah, it definitely excites the boil, man. Yep, good. Yeah, it's a good pointer. Good pro tip there, Jamie. Get your boil controlled before you throw your hops in. All right. Ooh, I am good now. I'm gonna
Start your
bring my
timer.
flame down a little bit. Start my timer.
All right,
Text
and
from my wife. They're on their way home, so good. I know they made it safe then.
are they leaving? Are they leaving the town right now?
I don't know. I have to look at the timestamp on the text. I didn't notice the text. No. All right. Rock and rolling right now. Timer wise.
I'm gonna call.
Temp is stable, I think. Appears to be.
I'm gonna call that stable. That's not going anywhere. So now I need to get my hops.
You're gonna have to go under the cable.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna go over it.
I got it.
You got this, man.
So, need a producer, Steve. Do you happen to
don't have time
remember what
for
my
that.
first hop was? Let's see. Here's Citra.
Ooh.
This is Citra non-cryo. Your Citra is cryo.
My Citra is cryo. I already put it in the butter dish thingy there in the fridge door.
Okay,
Separate.
so yours is off to the side. That's my.
And the rest of my hops are Centennial, Magnum, and Cascade. So which none of ours were matching. But even if they did, it doesn't really matter.
Centennial. Mine is Centennial.
Oh, that's right. We both had Centennial, but I had 2 Centennials and 2 Cascades.
There's a Centennial for you. A Centennial for you.
A Magnum
Centennial
for
you,
my bittering hops, and then
a
my
Magnum and 2 Cascades. All right, we got to figure it out.
sweet. Yeah, you got a good boil going right there.
Yeah, that is under control. That works.
It works. I need to go get my boiling, my hop cage.
Hop cage. I'm gonna throw some Centennial hops in here. There. 10 point something. 10.4 alpha acids. These are the bittering hops. And in we go. Start the timer.
Oh.
1 hour. An hour. 1 hour. 1 hour. Alright, let me clean up some of this garbage here. You know what we haven't done?
What's that?
We have not read the hop break in a while. We should do that. It's all about sour beers.
Sour beer.
Which, no lie, I'm not a big fan.
Not either.
But it's possible that it's just that we've never had a good sour beer.
Yeah. I could agree with that.
I doubt it, because that one brewery we went to that they only do sour beers, they seem pretty well established. So I imagine, of course, a sour beer is not the same as those spontaneously fermented beers or wild yeast beers, or however you want to say that. You know, those beers tend to be sour because they're...
Spontaneous fermentation. That sounds so pretentious. So.
It does sound pretentious. And the problem is the people that make those things tend to be pretentious. So it just increases the amount of pretension.
Go with it. Just
Pretension? Pretension? Pretentiousness.
Pretentiousness.
Is it pretension or pretentiousness?
I don't know. Not pretentious enough to know that.
Like, what is pretentious? State of having pretension. Or pretent. As opposed to
Pretentiousness?
post-tent or intent?
Post-tensionness?
Post-tension.
The heck?
established.
Steep away. Got nice stable temperature on my steep.
My next hops edition is at 10 minutes. Orange peels and hops.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I got 50 minutes.
Oh, excuse me.
Playing too hard? I go to bed on time?
Bed at 11, between 11 and midnight. I mean, I fell asleep before that. I fell asleep in my chair. After she picked me up from last night. Sat in my chair and had a snack and then fell asleep. And she woke me and said, "We're going to bed." Oh, okay.
My dad used to do that when I lived at home. Jack, get in your bed.
Okay.
But I'm comfortable here. But I'll be more comfortable out of my way in your bed. My dad's one to talk too. Now that I'm an adult, I'll go back for hunting season or anything and hang out late.
Yeah.
We'll be hanging out late at night. Dad'll turn the TV on. Sometimes, so my dad has hearing aids. This is a trick my dad does now. He turns his hearing aids all the way up. All the way up. Then runs the TV at a almost imperceptible volume. But because his hearing aids are cranked, he can hear it fine. Of course, don't say anything in a loud voice to him because he'll blow his head up. But he does that, he does that. So that way my mother, who is a very scheduled person, 10 o'clock, bedtime. 6 o'clock, time to wake up.
Okay.
As long as I've known her, no matter where she is. 10 o'clock,
and bed. And wait, and bed.
But, yeah, definitely at home, like 2 in the morning, I look over, my dad's been an hour and a half. Watching the TV at volumes that I can't hear.
Right.
I'm playing on my computer or something. It's just like, hey, we're in bed.
Yeah. But I'm comfortable here.
Of course, it's his house, so I can't say
I know,
anything.
right?
It's like,
Well, all right.
there. But it's funny. What's that?
I have a nice stable temperature. That's awesome.
Man, I've got a nice stable. Boy, we are doing well.
We're wicked good right now, huh?
Wicked good. Back. Have a seat. So, what we could do, since we've got time and we haven't done it in a while, is take a moment to figure out the hot break. And we'll revisit the hot break. So,
Wait! Hand me that beer glass, please.
oh,
Thank you.
here you go. It's an important thing. No lie, man. This is good beer. It really is. You've nailed it with this one.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Let's see. Where do we start?
Because I am really hard on myself, as we know, so.
You are your own worst critic. Somewhere in here is the link to the hot break.
It's not really spicy.
Somewhere. Where are you? No, I didn't delete you.
I mean, like spicy, like.
No.
Hoppy.
No. 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 Aha!
Like it. It's okay, you can tell me.
Here we are.
Pretty good.
Give in to the sour side. Sour beer without the dark side. Alright. Volume 5, issue number 6. Hi, Jamie. Welcome to the June edition of the Hot Break newsletter. I'm Ben, your trusty guide through the ever-exciting world of home brewing. Summer is approaching, as the temperatures rise, so does our enthusiasm for brewing crisp, refreshing beers that perfectly complement the season. Although, ironically, the time to brew those crisp, refreshing beers for the season is in the winter,
when you want to be drinking stouts and porters. However, carrying on. So first, let's take a moment to reflect on last month's issue, where we delved into the art of brewing summer ales. The feedback and shared stories from our brewing community were fantastic, and it's inspiring to see so many of you perfecting your summer brews. If you missed last month's newsletter, you can take a peek at click. So if you want to see that, just go ahead and click on the link in the description, which still is correct. The title and everything else is incorrect, but the links at the bottom are still correct. And you can go ahead and navigate to that. Northwest Brewers, nwbrewers.com, summer-beers-how-to-brew-them, /.
Wow.
Lots of dashes.
Lots of dashes.
Hyphens or tack, depending. So this month, I'm thrilled to share an article on sour beers. While they might seem intimidating or yucky, I might have added that, sour beers offer refreshing, tangy twist perfect for these warmer days. This month's article was inspired by a conversation with another brewer in the shop. Thanks, Dan. Thank you, Dan, whoever you are. We'll explore the kettle souring process, offering tips and tricks to help you master the style. Trust me, once you get to the hang of it, you will wonder why you didn't start sooner. As Father's Day approaches, or arrives in this case, don't forget to drop some not-so-subtle hints to your family. A Northwest Brewers Supply gift card is far more useful than another pair of socks. Although, now that I think of it, that is what I got for Father's Day.
Huh.
In my case, the socks are pretty useful because my socks are dying. And it's the perfect way to stock up on all those brewing essentials you've been eyeing. Thank you for being part of the Hot Break community. Your passion and dedication make this journey so rewarding. Here's to a summer filled with brewing adventures and discoveries. Happy brewing. Ben Holm, editor, Hot Break newsletter. And there's a picture of Ben drinking out of a beer stein.
Yay.
Okay, now.
So, did you switch it back off of pot cam? When did you do that?
Because I'm reading the Hot Break.
No, I said, when did you do that?
Like 2 or 3 minutes ago?
I kept thinking you were still on pot cam.
Nope. It just went.
Good thing I didn't pick my nose, you know?
Or do something inappropriate. Which, by the way, I'm here too, so let's not do inappropriate things while I'm
I
here.
wouldn't do that anyway.
Good. No inappropriateness. We might not be professional, but we are appropriate.
Most of the time.
Anyways, carrying on. So, embrace the sour side. Big Star Wars picture graphic. You will see this if you bother to go to the...
Click the link.
Click the link and go read the Hot Break yourself. Discovering the sour side of brewing. Picture this. All right, are you picturing, Steve?
All pictures.
Are you pictured?
Yep. Totally.
You're staring at how clear your beer is. Yes, your beer is clear.
No.
You are scaring me because your beer is almost spilling.
I'm gauging the bubbles.
Every time you say that, I think of that scene in Finding Nemo.
See the bubbles.
With the one fish, and he's like, the bubbles.
Oh. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. No, I'm not patting myself on the back because it's really clear beer. I'm just making sure the carbonation is correct because I had mentioned before that it seemed like the carbonation had petered out on Friday.
That's right. You went away. By the way, Jade encourages you to not be inappropriate. Welcome, Jade. Thank
Hi,
you.
Jade.
Thank you for being here.
Glad you joined us.
You're a little late.
We will not be inappropriate.
Yes, no inappropriate. I don't know if the funny stuff has passed or if we've even been funny at all or if we've been all serious. Who knows? Kind of like a documentary told with a guy with a British accent and no personality. All right, discovering the sour side.
Moving on.
Carrying on. Okay, we're picture Jade. Picture everybody. Tranquil Brewing Dojo. Okay, first of all,
I need some context. I mean,
just picture. It's
I hear the word dojo. I think beers with black belts like going wha wha.
Well, it gets a little. The dojo gets crazier. Apparently, this dojo is on Dagobah, where the wise and legendary Yoda, alongside a seasoned brewer, that's me. I think Ben has been imbibing in things stronger than
really
beer.
going Star Wars on this one, huh?
Teaches a fresh batch of younglings the art of sour beers. As I channel my inner Yoda, sour beers? misunderstood they are. Powerful and refreshing the tan can be.
He went there. Went there, he did.
Went there, I did. Come on, everybody loves the Yoda voice. Some people do it better than others. Nobody does it as good as Frank Haas.
Yeah.
All right, your guide, is that Yoda or Ben? I don't know. Reveals that sour beers, much like the Force, have a dual nature. They might initially seem intimidating, but they can become a brewer's greatest ally with the right knowledge and approach. We share insights on how the tanginess of sour beers. You know, every time he uses the word tangy, though, I think of mayonnaise. Which, no lie,
Mayonnaise is not tangy.
it's not
Miracle
tangy.
Whip is tangy.
Maybe I don't know what tangy is.
There's
a horrible
my
space
definition
drink
of tangy
called
is
Tang.
weird. Hey, what's tangy to you?
It's Tang.
Yeah.
What is tangy?
Like when I think of like tangy, I think Miracle Whip is tangy.
She wandered in during pot
I have no idea what else we're talking about. I mean, whatever, anything else I consider tangy besides the orange drink Tang.
Tang. Okay, so
Yeah.
maybe. All right. So I have a different definition of tangy. In any case, we share the insights of how the tanginess of sour beers can be refreshing as a breeze through the Dagobah swamps and just as invigorating. You know, someday maybe we should visit Dagobah and see how refreshing those breezes are.
Last time I looked into Dagobah, it seemed a little humid.
Yes, filled with some strange creatures that I
It was
didn't want
dark
to
all the
encounter.
time too, you know.
Yeah, it was a lot like
A lot rainy, like
the
kind of
Pacific Northwest in winter.
I
Yeah,
mean, we're not humid necessarily, but we
All
definitely
right.
get a lot of rain and overcast skies, you know.
So here we go. Click the link and let's find out more. So we got to click the link to go to the actual article,
The full on thing, yeah.
which is still at. Okay, so he's just saving space. Okay,
Well, makes
So-
sense.
sour beers. Just hearing the name might make some cringe, conjuring images of spoiled brews and questionable aftertastes.
Indeed.
Yes, that is it. Dread in the hearts of even seasoned beer lovers. Again, us. The name alone can invoke. Oh, wait. Let's back up. Dread in the hearts of even seasoned beer lovers. Name alone can invoke. Come on, I'm good at this. Like the dark side. Like the dark side of brewing, some might recoil at the mere mention. But what if I told you the problem isn't the taste, but the name? Imagine if we rebranded it as tart beer instead. That makes me think of inappropriate things. Sounds a lot better. I wonder if sour beer needs a little help in the marketing department. A long time ago, in a brew shop far, far away. Oh my goodness, Ben! Ben! You cannot lay this on any thicker.
It's themed this.
Yes,
this
we've
month,
done
I guess.
themed it.
Very yeah, he went there again.
Yes, we're going with it,
Here
man.
it is.
All right. A long time ago, in a brew shop far, far away, I was asked if there was a good reference for sour beers that I could recommend, particularly kettle sours. What resources do I know of? Where should I look? Like Yoda. In my 900 years of study, many books have I read. Oh, wait. That's even better, because there's a typo. In my 900 years of study, many books have read. That's not a typo. That's just very Yoda. That's Yoda-y Yoda speak.
Very, very Yoda.
All right, the path to the sour side starts here. Whoop, too much
Path
scrolling.
to the sour side.
That's what he says. The path to the sour side.
Oh, boy.
All right, sour beers, hokey religion or ancient weapon? Okay, I'm done with the Yoda voice. Sour beers, misunderstood they are, powerful and refreshing the tang can be. Like balance in the force, a harmony of flavors they bring. Fear not the name, embrace the taste you must. Wow. Do you have a lightsaber? I feel like we need a lightsaber.
No, but I do have one of those jet lighters. Plus the single lightsaber we're gonna have.
Yeah, that's pretty close. All right, several fantastic foods with lactic acid have great marketing and a devoted following. Pickled vegetables, kefir, yogurt, cheese, miso, kimchi, sauerkraut. Reckon?
Hold on.
Here?
Kimchi.
Kimchi? You don't like kimchi?
No.
What is that? Basically just rotted cabbage,
Rotten,
right?
rotten cabbage.
Yeah.
It was like if you do it traditionally, it's a Korean dish.
Uh-huh.
If you do it traditionally, sorry, segue.
No, that's
or
okay.
tangent, I mean.
great.
It's fermented in a clay pot underground.
Hmm.
And then, spiced up or whatever. Another spicy kimchi. Anyway, I did try it in Korea, and I was just like, I could not do it, man. It was nasty.
Just didn't taste good?
Yeah, I couldn't do it. So.
Yeah. Have you ever seen how fish sauce is made?
Oh gosh, no.
It's crazy, man. Dump trucks of these fish. Like 6, 7, 8 yard dump trucks. So cubic yards.
Huge. Yeah, that's big.
Right? Dump the fish into these big concrete vats in like Southeast Asia where it's hot and humid.
Yeah.
Cover them in salt, and then they literally somehow siphon off the juice. And that becomes fish sauce, which we joyfully put in our Thai cooking.
Hold on. Yes, daughter. What's up? No, that's one of my old work hoodies. Old work hoodie. You want it? You need to use it?
No, I was just curious what it says because it looks like.
No, that's the old company I used to work
All right, continuing on. Where was I? Sourdough bread, sour cream. If sour cream can elevate a
for.
taco.
Sour heads?
Ooh.
Sour heads?
Actually, I think that is a chemical called alum.
Yeah, the candy and the candy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That'll make your eyes cross. But he says, if sour cream can elevate a taco and pair beautifully with a cold beer, why can't lactic acid work its magic in beer, balancing the light and dark sides to achieve brewing harmony? It's all about perspective. Remember, we've been conditioned to think of sour as something to avoid. But in reality, a little tang can be pretty refreshing. The pucker factor of sour beers sure beats the heat. I hear that there is quite a market for sours on Tatooine. Oh man.
Oh, here we go. Oh, I gotta get my.
All right, you do your thing. I'm still doing the hot break. We're trucking along. Okay, kettle sours. This is the way. So I was chatting with a fellow brewer eager to dive into the world of sour beers, but needing help figuring out where to start. I assured them that the best place to begin is with a kettle sour. It's quicker, easier, and less likely to result in unintended funky flavors of the dark side than traditional methods. Below is the recipe and process I shared to get them started. Plug it into your favorite Navi computer or brewing software. I like Brewer's Friend for its simplicity. Sour beers, misunderstood they are. Powerful and refreshing they tang can be, yada yada. We did that. Ancient Dagobanian proverb. Alright, I think you invented how to spell Dagobanian. And okay, Ben, we're just going to roll with that. So, let's see. Quick Berliner Weisse kettle sour beer recipe. So, it gives out the ingredients: 25 to 50% malt, wheat malt, or extract. That's for you people that know all grain brewing. That's of all the grains that you use to make your beer. 25 to 50% of it needs to be wheat malt. Pilsner malt, 10 milliliters of lactic acid. Noble hops, a small amount. Lactobacillus culture, like acidophilus milk has that in it. And then ale yeast. And it doesn't even say what kind of ale yeast, as long as it's an ale yeast. If you want to see the recipe, check out the extract at brewersfriend.com, homebrew recipe, edit, and then a number, or all grain. And you can find all this. You can click on the link, navigate into this article, and then click on this if you really want to chase down sour beers. So the kettle sour method, basically, you do the mash and the sparge, and the wheat malt will provide plenty of body, even if it's a low original gravity beer. You boil the wort for 15 minutes, wait to add the hops. So the hops slow down the lactobacillus, that's the stuff that gives it its sour flavor. Lower the pH. I don't actually know how to do that aside from diluting. So that's something I don't know how to do. Fermentation, cool the wort, start fermentation with the lactobacillus only. Keep it warm. Oh. Check the pH every 12 hours. Boil again and hop. So that's crazy. So you do your boil like me and Steve are doing now, and then you cool it, and you start the fermentation, but with the lactobacillus culture. So you're not even using yeast at first. And then, this is kind of an involved beer, Steve.
Sour beer?
Yeah, check this out. I'll go through this again. So this is the kettle sour method, which I don't know what the traditional method is. I only know this one because this is the one that was in the hot break. So you do the mash and sparge, which we never do mash and sparge because we're extract brewers. But right, you do that. Wheat malt will provide, and it's like in your grain bill, it should be 25 to 50% wheat malt, and then the rest is Pilsner. So use a simple single infusion mash. Do the sparge. Boil the wort. So you boil for 15. But don't add the hops. And then it says boil for 15, but wait to add hops. Hops inhibit lactobacillus, which we need for souring. Lower the pH. It's a good idea to lower the wort pH to 4.5. The lower pH helps prevent other bacteria or wild yeast from ruining the batch. You can use lactic acid, phosphoric acid, or even acidic malt. Okay, so you just add acids to bring the pH down. 10 milliliters of lactic acid will get you there. Since we're after a lactic profile, it makes sense. All right, so fermentation stage 1. Cool the wort. Start the fermentation with only the lactobacillus culture, so not the yeast. You're just using that lactobacillus culture. And then keep it warm, 112 to 115 degrees Fahrenheit.
Sounds like a lot of work.
It is.
Just to make a sour beer, you know.
Right. So then you monitor the pH, check it every 12 hours. When it reaches 3.6 to 3.8, it's ready for the next stage. Boil it again, this time for an hour, and add a small amount of hops. Boiling kills the lactobacillus and stops further souring. 10 IBUs is a good start. International Bitterness Unit.
Right.
Since hops will no longer impact lactic acid formation, who am I to judge if you want a hoppy sour? So put as little or as much hops in as you want at this time. And then aerate the beer, add your yeast, and let it go. Yeah, that's a lot of work. Not quite sure. It sounds very interesting. Yeah, but it sounds like, I don't know. You know, me and Steve don't make a lot of lagers because it's just, I guess the thing is that the end result is not worth the amount of work put in. That's...
Yeah. I guess, you know, my timer's almost up, so I have about a minute and a half on my
I'm
Steve.
at 35. Oh,
I gotta go grab my malt here in a minute.
okay.
I was just trying to soften them up a little bit with some hot water. I wish I remembered to do that earlier, but whatever.
So some people really like, you know, there were things. It's like, you know, I guess if you're into sour beers, and maybe one day, I'll give this a shot, but not anytime soon.
Right.
But it's just like, right now, it's not quite worth the amount of work that goes into it. It's like, you ever watch some of those YouTube videos, and they're making food, and it's like already high speed, you know, like they've already played everything in fast forward style.
Oh yeah.
So the video is still 15 minutes, and it's just like, wow, that's a lot of work for this food that's going to take you 14 seconds to eat. Like, no, not worth it.
You need to work on that beer. Speaking of working.
More work than anything else. Yeah, you're not lying, Jay. There's a lot of work.
Yeah.
For a beer that Steve and I have already decided that we're not terribly fond of.
What's interesting is someone had to figure all this out at one time, you know? It's like, really? It's awfully
How did they figure that out?
complicated, you know? It was probably incremental, you know, they would iterative and incremental. They'd do something like, okay, change it, change this a little bit, and then finally all those weird complex steps are like, here it is! Here's our ultimate sour beer, you know?
Well, of course, the original sour beer had to be an accident.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
You know, that was definitely oops. And then someone drank it anyways, and they're like, yeah, you know what? I kind of like this.
This is all right.
Yeah, some people like Guinness. I like this beer.
Yeah.
So you came in late, Jade. This is Steve's, what we have named, what Steve has named, at my suggestion, but Steve controls it because he owns it, the Elusive IPA. And it was just, in fact, he's brewing an IPA right now. Yeah, by the way, ignore the title in the description because we forgot to change it, so it's all wrong. Anyway, so the point is Steve has been chasing this IPA, trying to get it right for a while, and he really nailed it with the last one, the one that we're drinking. But today, he's doing it again, but he made some changes to his recipe. We're pretty confident that it's going to come out really good. But it's going to be more hoppy, because that was his only complaint. It didn't quite have the hop profile that he was aiming for. Me, myself, I love it. It's good.
Right. Once I had a few of them and gave it another week or so and drank another one, I'm like, this came out good. I like this beer. And that's why I decided to go ahead and stamp it approved. Keep the Elusive IPA recipe as its own recipe, and then I'm taking the Elusive IPA recipe as a baseline and tweaking that now to try to figure out another IPA. Because IPA is kind of like my main style of beer that I like.
It is?
Drink, I'll make any kind of beer, but I definitely like drinking IPAs, though. If I go to a tap house or a bar or something. Or someone's house, if they have any.
Mm-hmm.
But they do tend to be expensive, though. Like off-the-shelf IPAs,
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of ingredients in them, a lot of hops.
All right, I need to get my...
Fingers crossed for you. He does not need that. He's a master brewer. He's one of the Northwest Brewmeisters. He's got this. Thank you. Appreciate it. He's gone now. Yes. Yeah, maybe pray for him, too. He needs help. Although he nailed this one. This one's good. This one's amazing. So this is number 2 of Steve's beers that I would pay for. I call them pay for beers. Definitely pay for this one.
Pay for beer. All right, time for my malts.
Wait, you're not charging me for this beer, are you?
No.
Okay, good. Never mind. I mean, I say I would pay for it, but it doesn't mean I want to pay for it if I don't have to.
Right. Saying you would and wanting to are two different things. All right, Brees. One more time. Tabs.
Yeah, little tiny tabs on the foil cover thing.
Lord.
It's like what? A quarter of a penny per tab.
Do what every other company does. Pass the cost to their customers.
I will pay the quarter of a penny.
Right. Okay. Let's get this out of the way. Alright. Can number 1 going in.
Going back to pot cam. Nope, not on pot cam. Now we're on pot cam. Back to pot cam.
Switch hands. Get as much of that gooey goodness out of there into the pot. All right. Good job, man. Good job. Ladle, ladle, ladle.
Ladle, ladle, ladle.
This step is strictly just to get the rest of the crap out of the can, because it's it's like molasses. Maybe not that thick, but close enough.
I don't drink, so I can't help you. And yet she watches a beer brewing broadcast.
I know. It's cool. That says something. Maybe we're just goofy enough that we're entertaining anybody.
All right, I hope so. Going for the goofy factor.
Going for the goof. Well, she's mentioned in the past she likes to put us on for background noise while she's gaming.
We are cool with that, man.
We like that. We appreciate that you come back and listen to us.
Throw a sign, throw the phone on the counter or on the table or on the bed. Who cares? Just leave it run. We don't care. Twist the algorithm.
Alright. Can number 5.
Number zwei.
Zwei is 2 in
Zwei.
German.
Yeah, I know.
1, 2,
3, 4,
5,
6, 7,
8, 7, 7, 8.
7, 8. Uh-huh.
Ja.
9,
10.
10. Insane.
Insane. Oh, there it is.
In the membrane.
Just about to say that. Just about to say that. You know, speaking of Cypress Hill, they're actually coming through, or they either just came through or they're coming through still. I didn't know they were still a thing, man.
How old are those guys?
Oh, they're definitely up there, because I remember Cypress Hill when I was like a sophomore in high school. When that Insane in the Membrane song came out, you know. But they were out before that, though. They had other stuff. They just weren't as popular then.
Well, kind of like Metallica. They were out long before they were popular or known.
Well, yeah, I know what you mean. Outside of the metal circles, you know. Family metal.
Family metal, indeed.
Speaking of Metallica, Jade, are you going to go see Metallica in August? I'll be there, actually, with my family. I mean, she lives in Seattle. That's why I'm asking, you know. If she's interested in that kind of stuff, you know. May not be her thing. I get it. I've got a few things lined up in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Not, I don't mean my band, but just other shows going on. Got a Lamb of God show. I'm thinking about buying tickets to go see Testament.
New or old?
I would say the Old Testament, because they've been around since mid-'80s, man.
Oh, yeah, you know?
Nah, they're one of the original thrash metal bands, American thrash metal. And I never got to see them when I was growing up, or as a young person.
Yeah.
And so they're coming through. They're gonna be playing at the Showbox in Soto,
Oh. Yeah,
which I've been there before. I went and saw Napalm Death and Arch Enemy and some other bands there.
The Showbox is still around, huh?
Yeah, there's 2 of them, I believe. I bet there's 2 locations that actually share the Showbox name. Same ownership kind of thing. The one I'm going to is in Soto, though.
The Showbox almost went away.
Oh, really?
Like, it almost got sold to a developer or something.
No, it's still there, because
Okay.
you know,
Somebody must have saved it.
yeah, somebody saved it. But yeah, I want to go see Testament and Creator. I've actually seen Creator before, back in '94 when I saw that Morbid Angel show I was telling you about.
Yeah.
Creator was the middle act for that show. But anyway, yeah, I'd like to go see that because I've never seen Testament. Testament are one of the original American thrash metal bands, you know, that coined the scene, you know. Whereas Creator is kind of their Creator's from Germany, their German counterpart, one of the European thrash metal bands. They all kind of were around together at the same time, you know.
Okay.
But anyway, I want to go see the show. Tickets are $40, so they're not too expensive.
Oh, that's not too
But it's a small venue, you know.
well.
But here's the caveat: it's on a Monday night, so if I go, I'm gonna have to take PTO
So tickets are...
because I work nights.
How much you get paid a day?
Oh, easily can afford it, but
No, I'm saying, so tickets are... How much you get paid a day?
oh yeah. So if I go to it, I'll have to take PTO. It's in September.
Yeah. Not asking how much you get paid a day. I'm just saying,
No.
add that to the ticket price.
Right.
Well, if you take PTO, I mean...
I'll have to take PTO, you know. Which is fine. I have plenty. Well, my current PTO balance is getting a little bit low, but I'll get my dump in September before the show because I get an annual dump of hours.
Mm-hmm. You know, that's one thing I don't think I get. Well, you know, I switched jobs, and so I had to start over at the beginning.
Right.
But I think even after working my way back up,
I don't think I get nearly as much paid time off as I did like at Napa. At Napa, I got 3 weeks.
Nice. Yeah, I get 178 hours, whatever that equates to. If you do the math on it, if you do the maths on it.
The maths.
Yeah. But now my contract's gonna go away, so it's not really gonna matter. But if I had let's say I had 9 years tenure on me, I would get like 200 something hours. You know?
Yeah, when Napa moved over and went corporate, there's a couple guys that had, like 20 plus years. They had 5 weeks.
Yeah,
that's more than the military.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah. Now the first year you don't get a dump. It's a 40-to-1 ratio. For every 40 hours you work, you get 1 hour PTO. But it had to be regular hours, holiday hours and stuff didn't count.
I have no idea.
So that's only for the first year, and then every year after that you get an annual dump. Which is
I am now in the position, and you are too, to be honest. It's like, yeah, PTO's nice, I get paid for the day, but it doesn't matter. I'm taking the day off.
Yeah.
Pay me for it or not, I'll be able to survive.
Yeah, with my organization, you can't elect to go, just give me no pay. It's like if you have PTO on the books, you have to use it first.
Yeah, you got to take the PTO, but what I'm saying is that.
Right, if we had to take no pay, it'd be like,
Well, that's what I've been doing all year this year.
Oh, okay.
With various dental appointments and medical appointments and things, stuff that happened before I did. But yeah, that's like the annual hunting trip. I already put in for it.
Right.
Taking time off.
Yeah, I haven't put my time off in yet, but I'm taking time off in around Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
We'll be out of the area for almost 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, that's when I'm going. But yeah, and that's something, I'm going to establish myself as a good worker, because that's the first thing you need to do.
Oh, yeah.
And then after that, it's like, hey, I'm going on vacation on Friday. Well, I don't know. It's like, wait. Let's back up a little bit.
I'm going on vacation.
I'm going on vacation on Friday.
Yeah.
So you, as the manager or the supervisor, need to figure out how to figure that out. But I'm doing this.
Why is that real time? Sorry.
Because we're looking at the OBS software,
okay,
not the YouTube thing.
Right. Like, we should have a delay there. We had this discussion earlier.
Which is what's going on here. Oh, the last thing Jade said is she's like, I don't drink, so I can't help.
Oh, right.
As far as how good.
Yeah. Oh, no, hot break.
Do you drink coffee? Oh, you got a hot break?
A little bit.
A hot break.
I have like a Galaxy hot break.
A Galaxy hot break?
Yeah,
so
look,
like
it's swirling.
Far away?
Yes, we had to go there again, didn't we?
You know what? You're the one who said it.
Because it stirred mine, and so now it has like this Galaxy tendril thing
You're right.
going on.
I love the hot break. The hot break is the coolest part. Although, it's also cool with the cold break. The cold break is cool.
It's a Galaxy. Look, there's Dagobah.
Oh my goodness. You thought I went there. Do you have a paper plate?
I do? Oh, no, I don't actually. I see the regular plate.
I don't care what kind of plate it is. Do you have a piece of tin foil or a paper towel? Anything so that I don't have to put the orange peels on the floor.
I won't pop it anyway.
Yep. I need to peel the oranges. I got 9 minutes. 9 minutes to peel the oranges.
Ask, and you shall receive. Yes, it's who you think it is. The queen.
The evil queen, right?
Yes.
Quite the plate. Thank you.
I don't even know where it came from.
It's like
I have children.
This plate just randomly showed up in my house.
Oh, we have a couple of them. I mean, I have children. They're not so young anymore, but they were young at one time. Little girls who liked Disney. You know?
Okay, fair enough, man. My kids grew out of sippy cups years before we lost all the sippy cups.
It's like, oh look, we saw sippy cups.
Yeah, although you know what's funny is that is it. I'm not worried about it. It'll boil for 10 minutes. I can bite it. You didn't see it, but I just bit the orange to start peeling it. Some people will be like, oh my goodness. You know, there are some countries where spit is part of the food preparation process.
Yeah, kind of weird.
I mean, we don't live in one of those countries, but...
Well, that we know of. Ooh, look at that. That is really hot breaking now.
Oh, sure, and I just changed to regular can.
It's alright. There's enough of a delay.
What was I talking about?
Spit and food.
I was not talking about spit and food. I was talking about something better than that. I don't remember.
Well, you mentioned like you didn't,
Oh, the sippy cups.
Sippy cups.
So, funny story. Funny story on sippy cups. So, I'm a typical dad. One of the roles of the father, I've heard this said, and I agree with it, right? So the role of the mother is kind of the protector of the children, right? She's the loving embrace. You get a boo-boo, you crash your bicycle, whatever. You need love and care and someone to tell you it's all right. That's mom's job, right? And this is kind of like stereotypical to an extent, but it's also kind of like borne out by just general psychology and stuff. It's kind of the way it works in the world. So one of the rules of the father is to kick the kids out of the nest and push things and get them to the next level, right? So you've got this tension between mom and dad. So anyways, sippy cups. I'm like, look, man, the kids are 10, 11.
You don't need sippy cups.
Let's let go of the sippy cups. I fought this battle and I was getting cranky. And I remember one day, I had a sippy cup. I was like, well, you really sippy cups? Yeah, I'm going off about the sippy cups, and then I picked up my coffee cup, which is a travel mug. Do you know what a travel mug is?
The sippy cup.
It's an adult sippy cup. And
I know.
And literally, I went from, I just want to get rid of these. I love my sippy cup. And I didn't. Now, the sippy cups did go away after a while, because they're part of it. The sippy portion got so chewed and nasty, and they had to get gone. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Stop. It's like, no, it's cool, man. Have your sippy cup. I get it. Dad has his sippy cup. You have yours.
I will agree with that for the most part. Yes, a travel mug is kind of like an adult sippy cup, but it doesn't have that little spout that comes up.
That's true.
The babies can or toddlers can use as a control. So
right.
We just have a little opening.
But still, I remember that to this day. It's like, the sippy cup's in there. Wait.
Yeah.
This is a sippy cup.
This is a sippy cup. Come on.
I'm trying to get to boil.
I'm gonna watch it. Means it's never gonna boil, Wow, it's awfully citrusy over there.
That's right.
I can smell the orange.
3 years later, Steve and Jamey finished brewing the beer. No water left in Steve's pot.
Because he was trying to watch it boil. It's like that paint never dries, Oh, I'm forgetting my other.
What's that?
My dry malt. I forgot to put that in there. Can I have the kniff, please?
Yep.
Thank you. That's kind of dumb.
No. Close it. Just
Oh,
flip them out
that's
from the
right.
handle.
Yeah, I keep forgetting about that.
Yeah, so I may have used that knife at work, so it's not quite as sharp as it was a couple weeks ago.
It's alright. I'm just going to dump the whole thing in there and
I think I'll sharpen it today.
I'll just make dough.
Well, that stuff, it dissolves really well. Unlike flour. If you had to add flour like that, it would just turn into dumplings.
Right.
Which would not cook evenly.
I almost forgot all about my malt, man. My dry malt.
That you didn't, man.
I know.
You know what's weird? Is for someone who's so on top of the brewing process, as you are, the person who has keep the beer in the pot, keep the beer in the pot. what I was saying is, for someone who's on top of the brewing process, as you are, the person who has forgotten ingredients most of this duo has been you. What's up with that? Do you not appreciate your ingredients? Do you not love them? They love you, Steve. Hey, shut up.
No, I'm just trying to think of a witty comeback, and it's not working.
Don't you hate that? The best comeback when you got that is like, I got nothing. I got nothing. Want an orange?
No. Thank you.
I want an orange.
Bailey will probably eat.
Bailey is welcome to have an orange.
Whatever you don't want to use for your beer. Oh, you just want the peels, right?
Mm-mm. That's right. I want to use the peels. 2 minutes.
I will text my daughter and
Yep. This one is mine, but I got 2 others.
this one is mine, but there are 2 more.
Thank you.
And I'm wearing a lot of this.
Yeah, the liquid malt you get all sticky. The dry malt you get all covered in powder.
Huh. Where'd she go? Where'd you go? Where she is.
You're a good orange.
Alright. I'm all foamed up now, but I'm dissolved, so that's good.
I think you could have started earlier.
What's that?
I think you could have started earlier.
Well, possibly if I hadn't forgotten my dry malt. Almost forgot my dry malt.
You're going for boil now, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I kind of dissipated that heat I had building up because I had to mix it in, so I'm not as hot. My wort is not as hot as it was, but it's fine. It's early. I mean, it's only 5:30.
Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna be done before you even hit boil.
That's fine. It'll ensure there's enough of a window there so we're not competing for the chiller.
Mm-hmm.
Like has happened before. Where it got really close. It's like, ah! Quick, rinse it. Okay. You know?
Rinse it off. Quick. Chill. We got 85 degrees. Close enough!
Oh gosh! The water's fine. I scared you, didn't I?
You did. Somebody, this guy, may have forgot chill water.
I have
More
forgotten
than once.
in the past. No, I was like the second thing I did today. I was like, I'm going to do the chill water first, or second, in this case. And so I went and filled everything up. There's even chill water in the chest freezer, which is down to like 33 degrees. So that's going to be really cold water in there. Orange peel in the wort.
Yeah, I need to go grab my hops.
Happy. And I'm not getting a response from my daughter, but that's okay. I am sticky. I need to go rinse my hands.
Alright, go rinse your hands. No, I think it might be time to take a break. We'll turn the music on and get the show going. Alright, Jade. Good time to throw us on the counter or the table or on the bed and just let it play. We're gonna be doing a few other things for a minute here. But we'll be back because we've got at least an hour until Steve is done. Alright.
Alright, I'm gonna grab the orange. Bailey's gonna take one.
You want an orange, Bailey? So, enjoy this amazing music.
Roll around. Here you go, Carol. Take it right where you want.
Over 7,000 years ago, God gave us a libation.
Freshly beamed.
And now this divine beverage
So the song is playing.
is
So
brewed
we are
in every
on
nation,
break as far as
on every
Okay.
continent,
Unfortunately, the song is
from
not.
far away to near.
No, the song is linked to this.
Humanity can all
It's
agree
with
we
something,
love
so-
this thing.
But we can move hot cam so we can.
Cold beer! There's Budweiser from St. Louis,
Leaning out OPA.
Coors in Colorado.
We even left the USA. Lamont up in Canada, the land of ice and snow. You don't even need a cooler when it's 40 below.
Dos Equis down in Mexico, or Corona with a lime. It's such a shame, so many beers, so very little time. From Brazil to Argentina,
From Peru or Ecuador. Todos hechos su cerveza. They grant some more.
fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink 'em all.
What about the Middle East?
Well, that's where it all began. They say the first beer was brewed in modern day Iran, or Lebanon, or Jordan. Well, hey, they make beer too.
Don't forget Gold Star in Israel, who knew the Jews could brew.
Oy vey.
Dewey's in Australia.
Or maybe Carlton Draft. Try to keep up with the Aussies
And you'll end up on your wall.
Fill my glass up to the brim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer, we're gonna drink 'em all.
There's beer from Scandinavia.
Belgium, France, and Spain.
So raise your glass bottoms up and fill them up again.
That's it.
England,
Guinness.
Ireland.
Tenants from the Scots.
Fine Stephens even Weiss beer.
Reinheitsgebot! Czech Republic, Poland, Russia.
China to the east. They all make delicious beers with barley, hops, and yeast.
So have yourself a big name brew.
Or better, brew your own.
But enjoy that beer, cause one thing's clear.
You ain't drunk at all! Fill my glass up to the rim with that tasty brew. I drank to my health yesterday, so this one is for you. One by one we set 'em up, and one by one they fall. There's a million different kinds of beer. We're gonna drink 'em all!
Drink!
Cheers!
Cheers! Drink! So original. Cheers!
Slanja!
Slanja! From Ireland! Slanja from Ireland!
That's right. May the devil know you're not dead. Oh, why I screwed that one up.
But it's hard for a German to be an Irish guy.
That's right. So we'll just pay homage to Germany and say, Prost!
Roast! And may you be in hell half an hour before the devil knows you're there.
Yes, in Ireland they would appreciate that.
Yeah, okay.
L'chaim!
L'chaim! Yes, for our Jewish friends. What else we got?
Goodbye!
Goodbye! Off to Japan with Asahi and
A little over to the west of Japan, we have Russia, Nostrovia.
way far west of Japan. Nostrovia, which I keep calling Nokia because I'm stupid.
And then, wait, we have some Zulu friends.
Yes, down in Africa, Bajabule!
How do we say that?
Bajabule! What else we got? Salud! Both Spain,
Salud!
Latin America, and Italy.
Chin-chin. Got a ways to go from it.
You a whirly flock?
Well, yeah, it's at the 10-minute mark, because that's when it's...
The song's over again.
Oh, okay. We're back!
kinda. Although in 3 minutes and 11 seconds, we'll be gone again for a minute. We'll throw pot cam on because we gotta do.
Alright.
Well, how much time do you have between when you start your timer and what's your first? After your what?
2 minutes.
2 minutes. Oh, 2 minutes. Yeah.
2 minutos.
By the way, how's your beer? Go ahead, say tasty. Say tasty. Say tasty. Just say tasty. Now ask me how my beer is.
How's your beer?
Empty!
You tricked me. You tricked me when I was like down to here. You had a full beer, and I was like, I'll wait for him because he's been talking, doing the hot break. You know, you were reading.
Sure.
And then I got busy, and you were like, ha, I'm gonna gulp mine down.
I did. I totally slammed a beer that is designed to be sipped and enjoyed. No. You know what?
I know.
You know the truth is I wolf my food. There's no lie. I eat fast. People are like, do you even taste it? Yes, I taste it. There's a reason that I eat 5 pounds of things at a setting. Because I want to enjoy it as much as you. You enjoy it by chewing for a ridiculously long amount of time. I enjoy it by shoving more into my mouth. Different strokes, different fun.
Yes.
You know, I'm only 30 pounds overweight. I'm good with that. But beer, I do not do this with.
No.
Because you don't get blasted off of stroganoff.
Pinky.
You just get. What is that? Oh, so apparently we have the high society portion of the Northwest Brewmeisters. High society. Go ahead, Steve. Talk in a British accent because everyone knows high society people talk with a British accent. And I understand that my particular version of the British accent may be a mixture of South London and Northeast Kent and Wales and perhaps a bit of Scotland as well. I don't know. I don't care. Your typical unlimited. Why are you looking at me like that?
I'll just wait for you to finish.
Okay, I'm done. I gave up. I tried.
High society. The only high society I know of, when I was 13, it was a pornography magazine I found in my stepdad's collection. Of course, I acquired it.
Okay.
That's all I gotta say about high society.
All right, and that's what Steve has to say about that.
Erect pinkies or not.
Right on the edge. PG 13 and a half. Just riding that line. It's like Disney with their
You
things
called
that
it out.
little
You
kids.
shouldn't have said anything. You called it out, man.
You're right, I did.
And a astute
My fault.
listener, I'm sure Jay caught it. She's like, "Oh, you dirty dirty old man, you." You know, Jay probably caught it, but anybody watching the replay maybe wouldn't have caught it. You know.
Well, it actually is like Disney. It's like, wow, that's a really adult reference that
I
your
know, right?
typical 7-year-old will not
Probably
catch.
won't catch. Yeah. And more stuff. Oh yeah.
Whoa, wrong way.
Oh!
All right, let's kill the flame.
Sweet.
That. Okay.
Good job, man. Good job.
Thank you.
You gonna rinse that out? Or
What?
You're not worried about it.
Well,
You're
first I gotta chill. And once it's chilled, I'm not worried, and then I'll take my time. And yeah, I am gonna rinse it out.
Oh.
But once it's chilled, it can sit in the pot for a few minutes. I don't think that's a really huge thing. Getting it chilled, however, that is more important, as we discovered.
We need to do that.
So let me go back to pot cam. I do think we have enough time to go back to pot cam,
We do.
which is looking at the edge of your amp now. Come back over here, pot cam. And pot cam is going to focus mainly. We'll look really quickly. There's the orange peels and everything sitting in mine, and now we will focus on Steve's brew with his textbook boil. Come on, let's get a good picture right in the center. There we go, center stage. Wow, that's a high jump to get over that cable.
Yeah. That's gonna be that's a long one.
We have the least ergonomic studio in the world, I swear.
Okay, let me go assume the plug in position.
All right, I'm going to move this. Here, can I grab these? Are you cool enough? We can make it. We can make it. Over here, over here. Okay, water on. too enthused. Oh, you've discovered something over there. I'm gonna need. Okay, all around. Killed that weed.
Never sure that water.
Let me check pot cam or boil cam.
Oil cam.
Looking good.
Her little thing can
Yeah. Watch your tire. You look like several dogs were arguing on their tire. Is cold enough. No. We're not. We're at 120, not 80.
mean you don't need the mitt anymore.
Yeah. Hi. Hey, Stephanie.
Hi. I'd walk right through the water. Why not?
All right.
Cleaned up the character. Hi.
You're in.
Well, thank
you.
Of course I want a brewski. I have been missing all the brewskis.
The home brews. Yeah, we have finally.
Oh, this is a good one. I like this beer.
Interesting enough. It doesn't taste like a Christmas. Okay, where's the other one?
Thanks, that John.
Oh, okay.
Can you throw that in the
That
garbage
makes
can over
sense,
there?
yeah.
We surprised them for Father's Day.
Oh, okay. That was nice. All garbage?
Yeah, all of it's garbage. Thank you. Yep, it was a surprise. Josh didn't know until we pulled up.
That actually is very nice.
Oh yeah, that's nice. Yeah. That's tough.
He cried.
All right, I know you can't see me, but I'm back temporarily. I think it's kind of boiling a little more aggressively than I like it, but all right. Are you all good, man?
I'm good.
Okay. I mean, with your
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I got everything taken care of. I got
right. I kind of got distracted. Family member just got here, so I was talking to the family member. I'm not going to be sitting here too much longer.
Yeah, actually, we need to sign off now that things are a little bit crazy at the house.
I mean, I still have. Yeah, you're right. I could have been on earlier. I have 42 minutes remaining.
Yep, I saw that. But, we'll get it figured out.
I think part of it was chatting and discussion and laughing and stuff
Oh,
too.
sure. It's all good. Hey, so, yeah, people came over. And as you know, we always end our broadcast exactly on time for reasons of scheduling. And not because...
Crotch shot there, huh?
Yeah, well, it's a good crotch shot. Okay? There. Everyone likes it. You say it's the greatest. Other people are saying there's some better, but no, this is... Everybody knows... That's the worst Trump impression I've ever done. Okay, continuing on. China! Just randomly. Let's just yell it out there. It's an easy one to do. We're going to leave now because people came over and we need to pay attention to them.
My sister-in-law's in town, so yeah.
And we've run out of things. I mean, Steve's got forever because he started way too late, but that was a guessing game as to when to start because it does suck if both of us need certain pieces of equipment at the same time that are for time-critical parts of the process.
Depending on how long of a boil that someone has to do. Sometimes, the reason I bring that up is some of Jamey's beers require a 90-minute boil as opposed to the standard 60-minute boil. And so when he has a longer boil, I go first. Because obviously, I'm going to be done sooner,
Yep.
But in this case, our boils were both 60 minutes. But we learned a few brew days ago that we didn't have to stagger them as much. We were able to, it was like a 15-minute difference one time, and it worked out. And like clockwork almost,
Because my pot gets hot faster. It does everything faster. I mean,
Right.
obviously the boil and the steep time are going to take 30 minutes regardless, but getting to temperature, getting to boil, my pot does it faster. I don't know if it's the burner, which is technically Steve's, or what, but it just does. Anyways, hey, for those of you that viewed us, thank you. Jade, you're still here. All right, Jade. Thank you for sticking around and
Thanks for sticking it out with us.
yeah, we appreciate it as always. Those of you watching on the replay, as always, if you've made it this far, you're slightly crazy. But hey, we hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the 2 videos. We are gonna get. In fact, that is a goal, right? All right. What is it? Is it the 15th? 16th, right?
Today's the 16th.
16th. 15th of July. We're gonna have the next song ready.
Are we?
That's a lie, but
Elon
Musk got away with it with billions of dollars on the line.
Well, which song are you talking about?
Oh, we'll just pick one. One not Beer Through Metal.
I was gonna say, yeah, we're not.
That
That's
one's
not ready,
not even
man.
close.
That's not ready at
You
all.
still have to write a solo and.
I want to re-record the rhythm anyway.
Record the rhythm because you're a perfectionist. And have we ever had the perfect is the enemy of good discussion? We need to.
No, we should do one of the other ones. It's mostly ready.
Yeah, because those are simple. They're simple. The rhythm guitar parts, they're 100% dependent on lyrics. The lyrics are what make those songs.
Right.
Type deal.
Yeah, we should get